What is that for?
Would you hold still, please, sir?
The Coen brothers are a very unique directing duo. They play with the conventions of film in their stories in a way that no other director has before. This is because, compared to other directors, their films are not heavily stylized, and they cross and mix genres together in their films to create wildly funny and entertaining stories that, when looked upon further, are some of the most dire and bleak tales that have ever been put to film.
I need help.
I would actually classify the Coen brothers as comedy directors but dramatic writers. All of their films combine either violence or drama with very, very, very dark humor and very well-written characters who are more than what they seem on the screen. Take Jerry Lundegaard from Fargo, for example. He is 100% a tragic character, a scumbag, and terrible person. But on screen, even when he is doing scummy and terrible things, he's one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Every little quirk he has, every little ooh or ah geez is scripted and directed, giving the Coen brothers the full ability to play his character as funny, but without sacrificing the scummy, sociopathic nature that is his character. The comedy the Coens put in their films also allows the worlds of their films to be less grounded than a typical genre. Every time I explore a Coen brothers world, there is definitely more to it than meets the eye. Whether it be spiritual, godly, hellish, or something else, there is almost a supernatural sense to the worlds they create, and that is due to the absurd and surreal situations that stem from the comedy the Coen bros put in their films. Even a film like A Serious Man, which is 100% supposed to be a comedy, is able to fill its audience with dread, anxiety, and fear. Another example of Coen cross-genre blending. Larry Gopnik is the main character, and he is essentially Jerry Lundegaard, but with a conscience. The same schlubby loser, but able to make decisions while considering the feelings of people around him. However, this starts to become harder and harder for him as his life starts to crumble around him, and neither us nor Larry know what is going to happen next. His wife leaves him, his son is acting out, and throughout the film he keeps getting hit after hit after hit, starting to lose himself and his faith, but on the advice of his rabbis not acting out or doing anything immoral or hasty. As Larry continues to do nothing, the audience fears for him and what will happen, but because of his idling, he is rewarded by the end of the film with possible tenure, and things are starting to look up for him. That is until he goes back on his faith and does the selfish thing of giving a student an undeserved grade. And as the film ends, it is implied that Larry's life is about to get so much worse, reaffirming the same dread and anxiety we felt at the beginning, but this time essentially confirmed.
Hello?
Yes?
Larry, could you come in to discuss these x-ray results? You remember the x-rays we took?
We can't discuss them over the phone?
I think we'd be more comfortable in person. Can you come in?
Out of the many films they have made, however, I would say the most bizarre and brilliant with the Coen brothers' cross-genre style and storytelling is Barton Fink. Not even professional critics have been able to determine what the film can be classified as well as being unable to decipher what the film actually means. Throughout, the titular character Barton Fink suffers as he is unable to write his script, and it seems like the film is going to be kind of a light comedy drama about this. However, he soon finds solace in someone, ghostwriter Audrey Taylor, but it is very quickly stripped away from him as she is murdered, and Fink's mental state starts to spiral out of control, turning from light comedy drama to psychological drama, almost horror. However, due to these events, Fink eventually finds out about John Goodman, his serial killer next-door neighbor, and is able to complete his script, which is implied is based on his own mental state. However, in a very Coenesque twist, after his hotel is burned down, after he encounters John Goodman's serial killer again, and after he phones his family to find out that they are most likely dead, his script is rejected for being
A fruity movie about suffering?
showing that Fink, having gone through all of this, clearly still is unable to relate to the common man, which is the opposite of what he was telling John Goodman's serial killer at the beginning of the film. Fink is told that he will not sell another script again until he grows up, implying the mess of a life we just witnessed was Fink's perspective, and not the way that this world works. And this implies that Fink, as a character, is a deranged person, and he needs to grow up, and he views the world as out to get him, and his suffering comes from his own mind, and not from the things around him. That is Coenesque.